Hey, I think it's live. What's going on? Thanks for joining me on tonight's live stream. Just getting everything set up and running, so give me 2 seconds. Was stocking the... Oh, come on now. There we go. Was stocking the refrigerator with some beer I just picked up from the forest and streams and realized what time it was. So, there we go. That's better. So, hey, Dark Matter is here. Don't know if I'll be around once it goes live, brother, but come over to call you sexy baby. God bless you, brother. Try to get here when you go live. You're still here when I'm out and about. So thanks for stopping by, Dark Matter. If you can get back, that'd be cool. Rocco's here, Forest and Streams. What's going on, man? Just poured myself a beer. And give some others a chance to get in here. Don't really have anything planned to talk about today. I'm going to try to do this without ranting. Let's see who else is in here. Looks like right now it's just you, Rocco. Just you. So what's new? We've been getting hammered with rain in the area. Don't want to leave too much dead air since this will get played back. So the Pennsylvania Northeast in general has been getting hammered with rain, except for us here in like the Scranton, Lackawanna Valley, Wyoming Valley area. The rain's just been going around us. We've been lucky. The streams and the creeks and the rivers and stuff are showing it because it's kind of forming back together north of us and everything's running down this way, but we've been pretty lucky so far. Life with fellow pals here. What's going on? Driving home. Can't really chat. That's cool. At least you're here. Oh, I'm getting text messages and other stuff. Let me put this in Do Not Disturb. There we go. Yeah, so we've been pretty lucky with the rain as far as it falling here, but I live right next to the Lackawanna River, and that's been up probably about a foot to a foot and a half in the past couple of days. It's starting to go back down. We haven't gotten any rain today, so here's hoping. I know a lot of areas down south of here are just flooded. Some of the state parks are closed down that way and everything. Arizona Timeless Tourist is here. What's going on? Rain, what's rain? Yeah, you guys don't get much rain out there. We've got plenty of it here. Inspired John is here. What's going on? Thanks for stopping by. It has been basically a week of rain. Aside from today. Today we haven't had anything. It's been pretty nice, been warm. But it, like I said, south of us has been getting hammered. Just absolutely hammered with rain. It's been missing us, but in the valley where I live, I can sit there and watch the rain go up either side of the valley, but it's actually missing us. Hey, Woodbitchin is here. What's going on, Jay? Glad to see you. I know you've been busy. You haven't been on. So we got the YouTube's best mod is back. Inspired, and you always miss me. Yeah, so I guess I'll talk about that now. This is probably going to be the last Thursday live stream. Emma Gang is here. Yeah, congrats to number 30. I want to make it to 30 consecutively. So this will probably be the last Thursday live stream. I'm going to definitely take a couple weeks off. Been doing a live stream every week for 30 weeks. I've got a couple changes coming my way here. I was hoping this week, but now it looks like it's going to be next week where I'm starting a new job. I knew that doing Hemlock Mountain Outdoors as a business was going to be get it started and then just kind of let it ride. It's a long-term goal. And Thirsty 30. Yeah, we used to call it something else other than Thirsty 30, but yes, cheers. Yeah, so I'll be starting a new job with, and it's going to be a second shift job. So this time next week I'll be working. So I'm going to go a couple weeks and then I might start doing it on Sundays. I don't think I'll do an early show, like an early Thursday, but I'll probably start doing Sunday nights. But that'll be a couple weeks down the line. So I want to get things, I want to get accustomed to my new schedule and do all that. So I'm just waiting on one thing, and I'm not going to rant on that, even though I really want to. But if anybody's watched the news and they've seen the news about LabCorp got hacked last week, that happened just as I went in for my pre-employment drug screening, and I've been on hold ever since. So I'm just waiting on that to clear, which should have been today. Hopefully tomorrow I get the word that I start on Monday, and then I'll be good to go. But so I've been sitting here all week thinking I'd be working this week and just going out of my mind because I got nothing to do. I kind of eased up on pushing hammocks and all that stuff just so I'd have the first couple of weeks where I didn't have a lot going on when I started the new job, and just kind of sitting here twiddling my thumbs. It's kind of sucked. Hey, Dragon's here. What's going on? Glad you could make it. So who's getting hammered by rain? Em, you got to be getting hammered down your way. I don't know if maybe it's stopped down there. We've been really lucky, but we're seeing the effects of it. So Dragon's asking how everybody's doing. I'm doing good. Just kind of, like I said, sitting here doing one of these. Just waiting to start work. So wood pigeon, you messaged me about maybe starting doing something on your own. Have you gotten any further on that? 30 millimeters of rain, so millimeters to inches. That's still a lot of rain. M says we've had hit or miss thunderstorms every day, but it's rained. Not all day though. It's not been too bad. Yeah, that's kind of what we've been getting here. We get a little rain in the afternoon where it actually hits us, but there's rain in the area the entire day. Today's the first day we haven't had any rain. It's been actually really nice today. Hike with Mike is here. What's going on, Mike? Just checking in for a bit. I'm out in the woods camping in the backcountry, so I gotta say the battery. No, I absolutely understand that. Thanks for taking the time to stop by, though. I appreciate that. Dark Matter. Yeah, you're back. Cool. Can't stay long. Here for me. That's absolutely fine, man. These summer live streams are weird anyway because everybody's usually out doing stuff. I mean, it is midweek, but I've gotten more people here than I thought I would over the summer. So I appreciate you guys stopping by, considering I just ramble. So that's always cool. Forest Dreams. Oh, you went for a beer yourself. You got some new fabric, wood pigeon. So and all goes well, should be able to put stuff up in a couple of weeks. Very cool. So are you doing like you're doing with your haversack, or are you doing other things? Inspired John, you're in Allentown area with Michael. Giant pond here. Yeah, I know you guys down south have been getting nailed. And by the time it gets up here by like seems like around Wilkes-Barre, like that area, like just as it comes over those mountains, it splits and it just breaks up. It completely misses us up here, and then it forms back together as it gets to New York, and then they get hammered. So it's just weird. Dark Matter getting ready to go out to the park, but waiting. So I'm here. Nice. Yeah, that's all I've been doing all week. I've been walking down to the local park, checking on the water level, dodging the rain, get back home, and then just sit and wait for news about what's going on. So it's insane. It's driving me. I haven't shaved. I'm just all disheveled, but I don't even care right now. Wood pigeon starting smaller at the moment. Test the waters. Yeah, that's the best way to do it. Like I said, right now I got the company started kind of like phase one. I got Hemlock Mountain Outdoor started. I've got some products out there. Had some orders come in. Kind of scaling back right now until I get my schedule set with what I'm doing next. And then phase two will kind of be more product awareness, getting the name out there and doing a little bit more pushing that. But I'm really am looking at it as a long-term solution. I got it started. Now it's time to make sure I got the bills covered and all that, and then I can move on. Want to see your sexy head. Yeah, it's I need to shave it. Haversacks will be third. Oh, cool. So are you going to do it under your name, or do you have a brand? Arizona Title Stores just joined your Twitter page. My Twitter page? I'm the gang. Been trying to go fishing all week, but every time I have it starts raining. That's the best time to fish. Best time to fish is when it's raining. Especially if it's cool. Cool and raining, you'll catch a fish. At least that's how it used to be. I don't know what the water's like down by you, but up here, You catch bass and all kinds of stuff. It was cool and raining, and I don't fish anymore. So, thumbs up for my sexy head. Thank you, Dark Matter. M says you can fish in the rain, but the camera equipment would get all wet. Get a GoPro. Won't have that problem. Yes, my Twitter page. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I do some stuff on Twitter. I don't post directly to Twitter. And I've mentioned this before. I use that IFTT, if this and that app on my phone. So when I post a video or I post something on Instagram, those are the two social media outlets I'm most active on, YouTube and Instagram. But when I post to either one of those, it will, that if this then that app will post it to my Twitter page, I'll post it to my Facebook page, I'll post it to my homepage, my webpage. So anything you see through there is usually coming through that one of those other channels. I do occasionally go in there and tweet directly through Twitter, or I'll do a lot of retweets, are usually me going through. I just go in there and take a look, but there's too many social media apps to keep track of, and a lot of it is nonsense, right? Like Facebook, that's why I stopped going to Facebook. I'll go there to keep an eye on family. I'll go there to a couple of groups I'm in. I'll go check those out. But more or less, I've abandoned Facebook because everything on Facebook is either an ad or it's just overly dramatized garbage, unfortunately. Like, I don't know how many times people have put up on Facebook, like, I'm watching this post to see who reads it, and whoever is truly my friend. Look, if I'm friends with you on Facebook, we're friends. If we're not friends on Facebook, then we haven't tried to connect or we're not friends. So that stuff I always ignore. And again, I know I can't video right now and fish. I want to video. Yeah, my buddy Todd, who does, he was doing Go Jacko Go, and now he's changed it to Adventures in Birding. He's carrying, he's a big guy, so he's got his camera and he carries a GoPro with his DSLR, and he'll hold the two together, and he's got the GoPro on a gimbal, so he gets smooth shots, and it's like first person like action of the camera. I don't know how he does that. That would drive me insane carrying two pieces of equipment like that, like constantly holding. Dark Matter, I did so people could find my channel. And the search engine was not something I wanted to do, but it's what I need to be found. Yeah, you got to do things, I guess, to Facebook is drama. I don't know why that got held for review. It's Dark Matter. Yeah, you got to do what you got to do, I guess, to promote your stuff, whether you like it or not. Wood Pigeon, sorry I stepped out. Take out the garbage. What was the question? Oh, the question was, are you selling stuff under your name as Wood Pigeon, or do you have your like another brand that you're selling under? Like, I'm not selling stuff under Kurt Zutzelman Outdoors, although I could have. I decided to launch a separate entity as Hemlock Mountain Outdoors. Dark Matter. Joe Harton's here. Hey, Joe, how you feeling, man? How's your knee? Bernard's here. What's going on? How's the cable business treating you, sucker? I don't think I could ever go back to that business. Dark Matter says Facebook is drama, but I do have a group page for YouTube friends. You're all welcome to check it out. Link on my channel art. If you do, lots of people are very cool. I'll check that out. Like I said, I don't spend a lot of time on Facebook anymore, but I do try to check out some stuff. Emma Gang says, this stuff drives me crazy. I start to just use Facebook for family and stuff. Yeah, I know people who've got, like, I don't know, I guess there's a limit to how many friends you can have on Facebook, or I've seen people complain about that. So whatever limit, I know people have maxed out their friend requests on Facebook. They don't know these people. They bump into them somewhere like, oh, let's be friends on Facebook, and then they follow them. I've got, I don't even know. The last time I looked, there's like 80 people on Facebook that I'm friends with, and they're people that I actually know. I either know them, I physically met them, or we've talked enough on like YouTube or some other project that I feel, that I know that person. But there's not people I just randomly bump into that I've got their Facebook information for. Arizona Town Store says, use Facebook to join Jeep groups. Twitter is my first choice. Yeah, Twitter, I've had Twitter for a long time. I originally used Twitter as a news feed. So I never posted anything. I just followed things that I had interest in. Outdoor stuff. It's kind of a weird mix. I love outdoor stuff. I also love technology. So I'd follow like outdoor stuff. I'd follow Linux groups. I'd follow like depending on what I was using, like Android groups, whatever phone manufacturers use, and things like that. Things that would be beneficial to me, and I go and read those. I use like a news aggregator. That was before really people were really. I guess they still were. You'd still see people out there like this is like a picture of their breakfast, having breakfast. Like, who cares? But yeah, I use it more for news. But it's a good way. I mean, it keeps things relatively simple. You still got a lot of drama on Twitter, I guess, but that's why I kind of like Instagram. Instagram's just photos. You get some people that are still posting like memes and stuff like that. I don't really pay attention to those, but I try to follow people that are putting up good photos, showing things that I'd like to see. Burnwood says cable sucks. Yeah, I could have gone back to cable. Could have very easily turned around, gone to the company I used to work for or another one in the area and been like, hey, I've got 18 years experience doing cable. I could have got a job like that. I don't even want to deal with that. No way. Nope. I mean, I understand. I mean, I see guys out working, doing phone, doing cable, doing any of that, and people treat installers like garbage. Like they have no idea what these guys go through. So if you have a serviceman come in your house, be nice, because you don't know what they're dealing with on a day-to-day basis. Just the total BS that they got to deal with on their side. It's insane. It will be under Wood Pigeon Outdoors. Very cool. Yeah, I'm not sure how that works up in Canada. I know for like down here, if I would have just gone under my name, which I almost just did Kurt Zutzelman Hammocks. As long as it was under my name, I wouldn't have to go any further than just put my name on it and start selling, getting the sales tax license and moving on. Because I used a different business, then I had to look at if I was going to do like an LLC, a corporation, sole proprietorship, or anything like that. So I start out as sole proprietorship. I still need to register with the state the name Hemlock Mountain Outdoors as my fictitious name. So however, whichever name I'm using, it still counts for me as far as how I handle the taxes and all stuff. It's a simpler way of doing it. It's just you can't expand as much. So down the road, I'll probably expand it. But for right now, to get started, that's how I did it. Life John is here. Only got a minute. I want to check in. You're like the fifth person who's just like stopping. I really do appreciate you guys who only stop and say hi. You got things to do. I understand. I appreciate you even taking a couple seconds to stop by and say hi. Joe Harton, knee is healing. My nickname for Facebook is Fecal Bonitage. Okay. All right. Wood Pigeon, this live stream is brought to you by HemlockMountainOutdoors.com. Thank you, Wood Pigeon. Dark Matter. Okay, guys, got to run. It was great hanging with you. God bless you all. Thank you, Dark, for stopping by. Appreciate it. And hopefully talk to you soon. Enjoy the park. Burnwood says, when I walk through the door that are pre-pissed at the cable company, when I leave, they have a smile on their face. Yeah, I mean, that's what you always try to do. And I try to do that too. You walk into it as an installer, and you got to go to every job like it's new, and you try. But you just get some people that they don't care that you're just the installer, that you're not whatever big name cable company you're working for. You're not them. You're just an installer. And they just take all that frustration out on you. And you know what? It makes your day so much easier when people just go, you know what, you got a job to do. You know what you're doing. Just go do it. If you need anything, let me know. You get some people that are just like right on top of you, watching everything you're doing, which is okay sometimes, but sometimes it just gets annoying. Just got to remember, people that are working in your house, they're people too. So treat them as such. For a while, I was living in Florida. I was switching between contractors down there, and you had to wait 6 months to go from contractor to contractor. So I was working for Frontier Communications, a phone company on the East Coast. They're probably out west too. and I was working on the phone, like customer service, and I'd call people, or they call in and they'd be like, my service guy's not here, and they told me he could do this and he could do that, and since I already had the knowledge of what these guys needed to do, I was already trying to talk them down before a technician even showed up. Like, I could see that they were on their way, and they'd be like, well, he said he's, I called and they said he was here, but he's not here. And for phone, they could be working down the street, working at the, one of the connectors or something like that. And I'd be like, well, he's down the road working at the spot at the pole. It's where he starts, and he'll work his way to your house. So it just always bothered me when people just get so mad for cable or phone. It's just cable. It's just TV. It's not that important. Wood Pigeon also, D-Man Smash, that thumbs up. Yes, thumbs up. So for those of you just coming in, this will be probably the last Thursday live cast. I'm going to take a couple weeks off. And then I'll move it to a different day because I'll be working at this time on Thursdays. Chris Aconi's here. What's going on? That's Batana. I think I'd probably have to hear it. Either way, it's a weird name. Yeah, Burma said I respect all. Yeah, I mean, you got to respect the people. You're in their home. So, life and fellow pals, you gotta run. Take care. Thanks for stopping by. Mid-10 Outdoors is here. What's going on, Patrick? Thanks for stopping by. I just rearranged all my magnets down in the refrigerator because I got the ones from Triumph and Pacific Bushcraft Consortium, and so I kind of rearranged everybody. So I just was moving your magnet not too long ago. Yeah, so I turned your sticker into a magnet. I should probably start with that. So what's on everyone's agenda for this weekend? I will probably not be doing much. I don't even have a video for tomorrow. Usually I do something during the middle of the week to have a video, but the rain has been so like hit or miss. I didn't even go out and do anything. I've got some stuff that's like flashback stuff that I might work on, so I might launch something later tomorrow for that. I haven't decided yet, but may not be anything out for tomorrow. Adam Z Adventures is here. What's going on, Adam? I'm at work. Just stop and say hi. Maybe listening a bit, but not in chat. Very cool. Working a lot. You still down? Well, if you can answer, you still down in DC, or are you back up in the area? Dragon, my uncle's annual summer party on Saturday. Oh, very cool. M the gang going to the lake house this weekend. Had to get my Wildlife Wednesday video put together. Don't have anything yet. Nothing like last minute. Yeah, that's always fun, isn't it? Chris Coney re-rigging the outhaul on Friends Boom sailboat this weekend. Very cool. Know nothing about boats other than kayaks, so I know they're supposed to float, right? Yeah, I was gonna try to do a Wildlife Wednesday over the summer, and I see a ton of eagles everywhere I go. I see eagles all over the place, and it's there. I can't get close enough to them to get good footage. I do what I can with the phone, and I started recording. So the Pixel 2 that I've been using got a great camera. The video is good, like close up, normal, but as soon as you zoom, it's shot. So what I started doing was shooting in 4K on the phone, and then that basically gives you double the pixels of HD. So I can take that and zoom in a lot closer after the fact when I'm doing the editing. But even at that, it's not great. So never throw anything together for Wildlife Wednesday. Yeah, Chris Cunn, you're supposed to. Hey, DNS Adventures here. What's going on? So where are you guys right now? You're in Michigan, I think the last I saw. You're just traveling all over the country now? Mid-10 Outdoors, you're getting any flooding? We're not up in the Northeast. The river, I live literally 300 feet from the Lackawanna River, and it's up about a foot to a foot and a half right now, but it's running fast. South of us, though, you go down maybe an hour or two south, and they're just flooded. The storms are splitting when they get up to our area, so they're kind of leaving us alone. So we're not getting the direct flooding. We did have a flood warning last night. My phone kept on going crazy about flood warnings, but we didn't get that much here. So here, no. An hour south of us, basically underwater. So it depends on where you are in this area. I know up in New York, some spots are flooding. So it's very hit or miss. Joe Harton trying to figure out how to use the high-end digital SLR. A friend lent me. Oh, yeah, they're nice, but there is a learning curve. I've got my Canon that I do some not videoing, but I do some photos with. It's nice, but it's easier for me to get a good picture with my phone than it is with that. At some point, I'm going to probably upgrade to a mirrorless, more for video, so I want to do better videos, because I want to go bigger places and shoot some better video. And I can what I'm doing with the GoPros and the phone right now works, but I'd like to do better. So I like the DSLR, but to film with it, that one doesn't have autofocus, so it's a little bit of a pain. But even if it did, it's just too heavy for me to film with. It's just too big and too clunky for backpacking, so I don't take it. Joe Harton, or that one. Emma Gang, did you see my latest video about the kayak safety? There are a lot of things I need to fix about it next time, but it was my first tips video. I did catch it. I watched it on my TV. How about that? Very good. A lot of good information there. There's like you guys look like you do more river kayaking. Up here where I'm at, it's a lot of river or lake kayaking. So I don't carry ropes with me. I don't carry an anchor with me. I don't carry a bilge with me. I carried ropes and stuff like that when I lived in Florida, because there's a good possibility that you could be out in much, much bigger water. But yeah, I almost did a video like that last year. More like I was just going to take the kayak somewhere and go out and just talk about stuff, and I never got around to it. But I did watch it. Very good. I like the format, so keep those up. That's okay. You can try some other time. It's hard when you have to zoom. Yeah, for me, as far as like the wildlife, I've gotten some we've had some pretty cool encounters out on the water. But it just, you're so far away from everything out in the water. It's tough. And then the cool encounters I've had hiking, like with the bear up in the Catskills, it happened so fast. This camera launches really fast. All I have to do is double tap the power button and the camera comes on. So just that fast, I've got that was crazy looking. I got the camera on, and even with that, I reached in my pocket, I double tapped the power button. I was just pulling the camera out of my pocket, and the bear was gone. So it's hard to get the wildlife sometimes. DNS Adventures, yeah, heading towards the Upper Peninsula, following the cell signal in the 70s where possible. So very cool. So how long are you guys out for? You're just doing, are you ever coming back? You ever going back home, or are you just going to travel forever? Adam Z, the one town near us got 17 inches of rain in the past 5 days. That's a lot of rain. 17 inches of rain. Crizzicone, that's insane rain. DNS, have you kayaking off the Hudson? Tons of fun inlets. I guess it depends on where in the Hudson you're talking about. The areas of the Hudson that I've gotten next to are extremely dirty and smell horrible. So I haven't done any kayaking in the Hudson. In New York, the only places I've kayaked up in the the Adirondacks in Lake Saranac. That was a couple years ago. And then just this year, start hitting some of the reservoirs just over the border, like an hour and a half from here. So like the Mongop Valley, Rio Reservoir, Mongop Reservoir, Bashakil, those three. And there's a couple other ones out there. There's Toronto Reservoir, and I found another one. I forget what it's called. They're up in that area. In kayaking, but not the Hudson, not yet. And the Hudson to me is like kayaking in Lake Wallenpaupack. Now, only if you're from around here would you understand that. But Lake Wallenpaupack is like, everybody thinks it's the ocean, so they got their boats out there, and there's no speed limit. no rules. It's like the Wild West. Everybody's drunk and just flying up and down the water. I would kayak out there in like the early spring or late fall when most of the people are gone, but this time of year, oh no. I almost did an early morning one on Lake Wallenpaupack a couple weeks ago, and then I talked myself out of it. Emma Gang, Anderson likes whitewater. We're going to do a lot more kayaking soon. That's pretty cool. So we've got rivers. We've got the Delaware, and we've got the Susquehanna, and there's the Lehigh, which you can kayak in. But the Lackawanna, I've seen people kayak in the Lackawanna, but it's not that big. And in the summer, there's not a lot of water. So even if you got a whitewater kayak, you're going to be walking a lot. And even down in the Delaware, or on the weekends, you can almost walk across the Delaware on the kayakers and tubers. So that's one of the things I miss about Florida, because there was a lot of river kayaking, and you could just go and go and go and go and go, and then you could turn around and come back because the water doesn't move that fast down there. And my kayak's not really designed for whitewater. I watched your video where you guys are like turning like. My kayak does not turn like that. It's meant to go straight. So in whitewater, I would be rolling that thing a lot. DNS Adventures, we have no clue. I guess depends on how much we end up liking it. It sounds like a fun place to kayak, though. We mostly hit up south of Poughkeepsie, off the Hudson, or nearby rivers and creeks. Yeah, Poughkeepsie is actually a really cool town. I've done the walkway over the Hudson there, the old train bridge. They turned into, it's like a state park that's a bridge. That's pretty cool. Spent some time in Poughkeepsie, and that's when we were up in Poughkeepsie. This is a few years ago. It was the first time I was up there. It was across in what is that, Highland Park or Highland, right on the other side of the river. And we're kind of doing like a road trip. It was me and Forest and Streams, and we just kind of drove up there. Saw a sign for a state park. We drove up to state park. We walked. We didn't know we were that close to the river. We walked through this park. We came through a spot where there was you could see the bridge, like was it Route 55 that takes you over there? I forget what it's called, the Mid Hudson Valley Bridge. And we walked down to the bottom of that, and you're almost right by the river there. And there's the bridge. The sun had just come up. There was a train coming one way. There was a barge coming up the other way, and it was just like this like incredible timing to be there. But the barge was huge, and I know they get big boats in there. And I don't mind big water. I don't mind riding waves, but I can imagine you get yourself in trouble in that river if the water picked up or one of those big boats came by. Dragon Rome says, I like the coffee and beer cafe across the walk from. Oh yeah, there's a couple of cool places over there. I forget where we ate. We stopped at a restaurant over there. They had like a patio. It was right on the river. It was pretty cool. It's a nice area. It's a beautiful area out there. A lot of people, I know when I was growing up, if you said New York to me, I pictured New York City. Now someone says New York to me, I picture everything except New York City. And you do get places like Poughkeepsie and Albany and Syracuse, or they're bigger. Oh, Poughkeepsie's not all that big, but bigger towns, and they're a little more populated. But you get other areas like the Catskills and most of upstate New York, and it's just gorgeous. Dina says, sounds right. She knows the area a lot better than me. Yeah. It's a nice place. I don't know. It just seems like I just always expect to see a body float by in the Hudson. I don't know why. Maybe up further north. I don't know. I've seen some cool spots out there. Drove up, saw a couple lighthouses that sit out there, a couple islands. So some really cool stuff. Underground coffee ales. Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a couple of years since I've been in Poughkeepsie. I don't remember if that name sounds familiar. Is that like right? You come down like where the elevator brings you down. There's like that little plaza right there. Is that like right in there? DNS Adventures. Love upstate New York. I wish we hit up more. I guess we'll have to head back. Yeah, upstate New York is gorgeous. There's so many nice spots up there. And I think it's because of the area I live in. Everybody seems nicer when you leave the area. So you get to upstate New York, people drive differently. They give you space. They're polite. But I love it out there. That whole area. Even doing like the Mongop Valley is right across the river, right across the Delaware from Pennsylvania. And that's just a different world out there. AOK Foraging Adventures is here. Hello. So, yeah, it's one of the things I'd like to do is I want to get up to the Algonquin, which is if you've never seen videos from the Algonquin, definitely go check them out. There's some very cool spots out there. It's not super remote, but it's just beautiful. It's like, I don't know. I've been into the Adirondacks, spent time up there. That's gorgeous, and it's just like another level above that. There's a bunch of places up in Canada I'd love to go, but I really, if I'm gonna go up there and document that, I want to do it with good gear and really do a good job at it. Sloan's Wilderness Expeditions is here. Definitely need to get my kayak back out soon. Yeah, kayaking's fun. I really enjoy it. Just something about being out on the water. And there's some days where you get out there and the water's calm, the air is just the right way. You know, there's not a lot of people around, and it's like there's no one else around. Sloan's, what kind of kayak do you have? Dragon, have you gotten your stand-up paddleboard back out? Haven't seen any pictures from that. So bigger places and better coverage of it. I've been trying to change up the way I do the kayaking videos. I'm trying to. When I first started doing the kayaking videos, they were just kayaking. I had one camera mounted on the front. Got some footage. I was using a GoPro or this this little SJ cam in like a big plastic housing. So the audio was shot, so you couldn't really get much out of it. So it would just be a camera mounted to the front of the kayak, and that would be it. Now I if I'm filming with the kayak, I've got no less than 4 cameras with me. I'll have one GoPro mounted on a large extension pole on the back, which I haven't extended that thing all the way up. I could almost look straight down the kayak with that. If it's like 12 feet, it'll extend. It's insane. So I put one kayak back there that's on a remote control, or one GoPro on that with the remote control, so I can turn that off and on. I'll carry one of my GoPro sessions on an extension pole that I keep on the paddle keeper on the side, so I can get side shots, and I use that as my underwater camera. I can also move that around. I can have that facing forward. I can have it facing backward. I can have it behind me facing forward, behind me facing backwards, facing out the side, facing over. I can mount it all kinds of crazy ways. And then I carry another session that is on a tripod that I kind of wedge into my life vest, because if I'm not wearing the life vest, just wedge it right in there in the front. And then that's the one I usually talk to, and then that's the one I'll just leave on rocks or stumps or branches, whatever I can find for the off-boat shots. And then I've got my phone. So editing those videos is insane. I got so much footage usually, it's crazy. Hiking is usually much easier. I usually have one GoPro and my phone. Makes it much easier to edit. But the kayaking footage can get, the videos for kayaking can get monotonous if you only got the one view sometimes. Because I tend to do longer videos. So if I got a 20-minute video and it's just one shot off there, I would fall asleep editing it. Venus Adventures need one of those follow-along drones. They're probably a bit scary over the water. The problem with those, a lot of parks you can't even have them. In Pennsylvania, from the last count I saw, there's only like 5 out of 121 or 122 state parks that we have that allow drones. In national parks, you can't have a drone. They got to be registered. I don't know. They seem like such a great idea. Like you can get some cool footage with them, but a lot of the video footage you see from people using drones is technically illegal footage. You're not supposed to be flying in those areas, which sucks. There's got to be a better way for that to be handled, but yeah, it seems like a lot of work for aerial footage. I thought about it for a while getting one, but I just couldn't justify the carrying it with me all the time if I'm backpacking, and B, getting it set up, getting it working, do your flight, bring it back down. If you're in the water, it's got to be waterproof. That increases the price of them a lot. So I've always opted out of it. That's when I start doing like the camera in the backpack. I'd stick in the side pocket and have it on a gimbal over my shoulder, or that's why I mounted it behind the camera behind me on the kayak too, just for different views. Dragon doing pretty good. I'm getting. I need to get out, get more GoPro cameras. The waterproof ones. So the Session is waterproof. Yeah, the Session is waterproof. Anything from the Hero 5 and up is waterproof without a case. So the Hero, well, actually, I should say the original Session 4 or whatever it was, and up is waterproof without a case. So any Session and any Hero 5 or Hero 6, they're all waterproof without a case. You can get a dive case for them if you're planning on going down below, I don't know, like 100 feet or something, like something crazy. Like they're pretty rugged. I've had no problems, and actually the Sessions work really well. They charge pretty quick, and I'll usually have 2 of them with me, even if I'm only going to use one, because I can use one. Once it starts to die down, I'll throw it on the battery pack and record with the other one. And I've got the settings on them identical, so you can't even tell that I'm switching cameras. It gets a little confusing when you're editing. You got to make sure that you know where that changes so you can edit everything if you're doing it linear. But they work pretty well. They've got a better microphone than the Hero 5. It's probably the same microphone, but because of the way the case is, I think it makes it sound better. So I can record with the Session and not need an external mic as much. I pick up a lot of the noise if I'm using like an extension pole. I'll pick up noise through the extension pole just moving my hand. The last trip when we did the section hike of the AT, I just left it on the GorillaPod tripod, and that's segmented in so many places, and the way it's kind of designed, it transferred some noise through, but nowhere near as much. So I still prefer the external mic for the audio quality, but it's a pain to have it turned on, have the microphone there, get it synced up, do what you're doing, get it back, download your video, download your audio, marry it all back up. If you're doing a big video, that can be a pain. It does sound better, and once you get kind of by the last time I did a second audio video was for hiking. That's when the microphones start crapping out on me. I could do that sync up pretty quick. I could do like 3 hours of video syncing it up in probably a half hour to 45 minutes. Then I got to go through and edit the video on top of that. So it adds some time. And the gangs, there's so many places you can't fly a drone. Yeah, it's almost not worth having one. I mean, you can have a commercial license, but then you got to file flight plans. If you're too close to an airport, you're not supposed to be flying them. It's insane. AOK Foraging Adventures. I've got a trip to Michigan in August, Ohio in September, and Texas in October. So pretty busy. Oh, that's very cool. Yeah, that's this year's been short on travel just because of everything I've been doing. I knew that was going to happen, but I got to get some road trips back under my belt. I miss being out on the road. Yes, Adventures understood. All we use is our Session. My mixing it up is just extending the monopod, and that's really all you need. I get bored real easy with what I'm doing, so I like to add different viewpoints, I don't know. It's if I get bored editing the video, like, I'm not saying anything I put out is great, but if I get bored editing the video, I can only imagine how boring it's going to be if somebody's trying to watch it. So that's the way I always look at it. And I get bored easily when I'm doing stuff. So I tend to change things up. I've made smaller changes recently. Just tweaking the format of how I do the video, or the title sequence, or things like that. Um, AOK foraging drones do take up a lot of space. They do. They're making them smaller and they're making them lighter. But you've got to you got to keep them charged. They don't stay in the air very long. The batteries are usually heavy. I don't know. They're just not worth it for me. I mean, they work great for some people, but I don't think I'd use it enough to make it worth it. I mean, if somebody's got a drone, they want to follow me around, give me the footage, and I'm all for it. But Dragon, we leave in just over a week for a cross-country trip. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, you guys are going to have a good time with that. Skinny Panda's here. Have not seen your AT section hike video yet. AOK Foraging, you made that video for people to invite me to come camp with them and took off, and I got invites every month. That's pretty cool. Skinny Japan says so many good people in here tonight. I agree. Always is. Been really lucky. I mean, watch, it'll happen right now, but I don't think we've had, maybe one time did somebody come in here who was disrespectful or harassing, and they did not last long. I think that happened once. So that's pretty good for 30 episodes. That's pretty good. It may just mean that I'm not worth trolling, which is fine. I'm fine with that. Dragon says, that's awesome, but I'm not surprised. You're a fun couple who would want to hang out. I'm guessing you're talking to AOK Forging. Jake the Outdoorsman's here. What's going on? Watch your, yeah, I comment on your video. Watch that. That was awesome. The whites. Definitely somewhere I got to get to. Sloan's Wilderness Expeditions just got back from a 3-week road trip. Absolutely amazing. Yeah, there's something about road trips, isn't there? I've never done 3 weeks. I've done a week, but I've never done 3. That would be fun. Just got here. What do you edit with? Have you heard of HitFilm? I have heard of HitFilm. I use a program that used to be called Sony Movie Studio. Sony sold that whole division of their company. They got rid of all that stuff. They used to have a movie studio and a music studio and all this software. It kind of got bought by a company called Magix, and now it's called Vegas Movie Studio. So that's what I use. It works really well. For a long time, I just used a program called OpenShot. I use it on Linux, and it worked really well for what I was doing. It did have a lot of crashes, and my computer was kind of slow, and I couldn't do a lot with like titles or adding additional clips, and it got complicated. So I started using that Vegas Movie Studio. I still always call it Sony, but yeah, that's what I've been using, and it works really well. I've looked at other options, more so for just for the knowledge of knowing what else is out there when other people asked. But there's a lot of options. I don't think there's really a wrong one. Excuse me. Mid-10 Outdoors, I use Canon Point and Shoot and GoPro's combo. Yeah. So yeah, I'll use my list of cameras is insane. I've collected so many over the years. I'll always have at least my phone with me. All right. So that's like, this is the Pixel 2. This does really well. I can just have this and just hold it this way. And, it's got image stabilization. It shoots 4K. This has got like 64 gigabytes of memory. So I can record for a while on that. And I could use that I use that for a couple of weeks. Did I use it for, it was a couple of videos. So it might've been like a week. I just used my phone just to test it. But I'll usually have a phone. I have my SJ cam, which is the second one I had. I use this for the live stream for a couple months. It's not really meant to do that. It started acting up, so I replaced it with an actual Logitech webcam. But this does a pretty good job. Forest and Streams uses an SJ cam. It does really, really well. They're not great in not low light, but like dim light, like gray sky. They don't do so well. But these actually have a surprising amount of contrast for sky. My GoPros will blast out the sky. They get all blown out sometimes. The SJ cams do a lot better with that, and they're like a fraction of the price. So I've got that. I've got a GoPro Hero 3. I got a GoPro Hero 4 Silver. I got a GoPro Hero 5 Black. I got 2 Hero 5 Sessions. I've got my oh my god, what else I have? I've got my Nikon what is that called? Coolpix. That's underwater. That's a waterproof camera. That I really like to use, but it acts up. Sometimes it just will. I'll record for 20 minutes and they'll just be like, no, you never hit record. It does weird things like that. So I can't really rely on that camera. I use that for the May Catskill trip. I just used that, and it did fine with that. I've got my DSLR. I probably have something else too. I've got old cameras I used when I was down in Florida. I still have my old what that thing, Flip Video, Flip Ultra HD. I got this little $99 underwater camera that I got, like digital camera from Walmart. I still got that thing. It probably still works. Just way too much camera equipment. Way too much camera equipment. So I never get bored with what I'm going to take. I can take a different camera every week. Skinny G Panda says, haven't edited it yet. Tonight I'll go through and post on Monday. Maybe. We're going to have it up this week. I'm interested to see how it turns out. There's a different perspective on the whole trip. Jake the Outdoorsman, I have 2 Sony action cams comparable to Hero 5. I just discovered my Samsung Galaxy S8 camera. Screen's got something on it. S8 camera is amazing. Will be my camera for a tripod video. Yeah, phone cameras are pretty good now. Like I was talking about earlier, my phone does great if I don't zoom in. Once I start zooming in, you can see it gets grainy. So I shoot in 4K, which gives, and I only edit in 1080. So that gives me double the pixels to mess with, and I can zoom in the program. And again, it's awesome. I use a Panasonic Lumix digital and a GoPro knockoff in my phone. Some of those GoPro knockoffs are great. You can't argue with them. I'm trying to remember. The camera on this was decent. It did tend to have a lot more fisheye effect than I care for. With the GoPro, I can shoot in a mode called linear, which is kind of like a super wide, but it takes the fisheye out automatically. So kind of it's like in between a wide and a super wide. You lose a lot of, not all of, but a lot of that fisheye effect. I've seen some of the knockoffs, and the SJ Cam will do it too. If you pan, if you're panning with it, and especially in the woods, you can see the trees are all like, it's like a fun house, and that kind of drives me nuts. So I wanted to get away from that. So the GoPros allow me to do that. They do decent. They get pretty good color. I've changed some of the settings. I found some settings online somebody's using that gives me decent color. It might be a little yellow sometimes, but it's a really blue. It's a really cool color, a cooler temperature color by default. So this kind of warms it up a little bit. And they do fine. You can't do a lot of zooming with them, but that's not what they're made for. So, Jake the Outdoorsman, road trip to the Whites. I want to go back in August. I will not be able to go back, and I won't be able to go there in August. I will be starting a new job, so that's not going to happen. I would love if we could, but unless everyone wants to donate, $20, we'll get everybody in the world to donate $20, and I'll go wherever. Mid-TN Outdoors, the Emna Gang. I can't spend the money on the DSLR. They are expensive. They're expensive, and they're not a pain to shoot with, but they're more complicated than just hitting the record button on a GoPro and forgetting about it. Dragon says, we did 3 last year, not hectic. The way we did it just went so fast. Yeah, the last couple of years I tried to do like at least 2 road trips, maybe not big road trips, but little road trips, even if they're like 3-day road trips. Didn't really get to do any. I did a lot of backpacking this year, so I can't really complain. I spent more time out camping this year than I have in the past few, so I'm happy with that. DNS, thanks for fun chat. Got to head off, make another campground review before the sun goes down. So awesome. Thanks for stopping by, guys. Have fun traveling, and man, stay out there as long as you can. If you can do it, just keep going. Just keep driving. Thanks for stopping by, though. Jake the Outdoorsman, Hero 5 is a steal at $299. An incredible cam. $100 cheaper since the 6 came out. Yeah, I like my 5. There's a little difference between the 5 and the 6. It's got a different processor. I think it can shoot more frames per second. I don't think they fixed the problem with the microphone though, and that's really my biggest complaint with the Hero 5 is that microphone. So the sessions do much better with the audio, but I still the Heroes 5 is that's the one I would prefer to shoot with. It's just it seems to do a little bit better video wise than the sessions, but the audio is just it kills me on that thing. Just absolutely kills me. Mid-10 outdoors. The downside of 4K, most people can't even watch 4K on their computer. Yeah. Even my phone is a 4K phone, but I don't think the YouTube app shows 4K. Not true 4K. My computer only goes up to 2K maybe. And if I stream it, if you're casting to your TV, forget it. You're doing 720. That's the most they'll stream at. So it's flying around the room. There's 4K is nice, and if you got the right TV, I know maybe you can't. I don't know. I know my TV will only stream at 720. So there is a difference, but with a GoPro, if you've got a DSLR that's shooting 4K, you're going to see the difference. You're shooting 4K with a GoPro. I've seen people do side by sides. You're like, look at the difference. Look at the difference. Not that much difference. That's a lot of Yeah, that's a lot of cameras. Jake the Outdoorsman, I do the same. Shoot in higher res and export at 1080. Yeah, I only do it with the phone right now. Just simply because I tend to shoot longer videos. So if I'm shooting in 4K, right now I shoot at 1080 at 30 frames per second on the GoPros, and I can get hours and hours and hours on the battery. I have probably 2 hours on the battery on the sessions, off and on. But the SD card will just keep going. Once you go to 4K, your battery starts dying faster, and you lose a lot of memory card capacity. So I got to invest in some better memory cards, and then I don't know, I have to add a third session if I'm going to do that with the sessions, just so I can keep them charging on cycle. They do the same shoot. More. You got more room to mess around with what you're doing. You can zoom in more. If I know I'm going to do a pan shot and I'm doing it with the phone, I can do this much of a pan with the phone, but I can actually make it seem like a smoother pan with software. Emma Gang, I like the knockoff GoPro. It's an Ekin and shoots 4K. I think it was less than $50. Even the sound is bad. I believe that company is the same company that manufactures for SJ Cam. I'm pretty sure. I've seen them. I know they use the same batteries, so they're very good cameras for what you're paying for them. You can't be that at all. $50 or 80. Yeah, $50. Dragon Rooms. Funny thing about 4K is that all the people I know, only one person actually can view it in 4K. Yeah, me too. And honestly, even if my phone could view it in 4K, the screen is only that big. How much more clearer can it get on 4K? I can watch 480 on my phone and it looks okay. So I don't know. After working in the cable industry for as long as I did, 4K is basically a gimmick. It's get people excited about something so they can buy it, sell them more stuff. But honestly, if you really need to see something that much better, that much higher definition, go outside and look at it yourself. It's all in high def. Dragon, my way home theater system. My home theater system can't view 4K. Yeah, my TV isn't all that old, and that'll only do 1080. Emma Gang, any underwater video we have is with that, except for the snorkeling video. Most of my news video is with that camera on the front of my son's kayak, and they do fine. And that's what they're made for. I mean, they can take a beating in those things. In those cases, the only reason why this is my second SJ Cam is because I blew up the first one when I was in Virginia. I had my phone, this is my third phone now that has USB-C, and USB-C can regulate how much power it gets depending on what the charger is. So there's supposed to be a resistor either in the cord or in the charger that regulates that power. And the car charger I had was just a standard like gas station car charger, and it had a standard USB-A, like a large USB to a USB-C adapter, and I used to charge my phone on there. And I was doing Skyline Drive in Shenandoah National Park, and I wanted to have the camera on the window and do this cool time lapse of me driving. It's just, if you've never been there, this is a very cool drive. And I started it and I drove for about, I don't know, 20 miles, and I pulled off and I get to the one spot. I want to get out and hike a couple trails just to kind of do some scouting missions. And I go to turn off the camera so it's not just recording while I'm sitting, and it's like super hot. And I'm like, what's... So I take it down, and I can smell it now. It's burning on the inside. So I let it cool down. The battery was shot. I almost blew the battery up. The battery was shot. It wouldn't turn back on, so I had to switch over, use the GoPro. I lost the footage off of it. It fried the SD card. So when I got home at the end of that trip, I ordered a new, because these things are cheap. So I ordered a new one of these, and I opened up the old one, and it was just melted on the inside. And so my phone had actually melted the inside of the charger too. I opened that up, and that thing was all burned out. So yeah, that wasn't good. Yeah, it's not like we need 4K. It just came with it, so we got it. Just go look at it. Right? If you want to see 4K, people like, I like watching videos. I like seeing where people are gone. I like looking at photos of places that I think I might want to go. But it's never the same as going out and looking at it. So yeah, seriously, if you want to go out and see something, that's why sometimes I'm not so concerned about the video quality if I'm shooting with the phone, especially like the eagles. The eagles flying by and all that, and I'll zoom in with the phone. I know I'm going to take a hit on the quality, and you can see what's going on, but it's not crystal clear. I'm not trying to make a movie. I'm trying to show you what I'm seeing. And honestly, you want to go out and see that stuff, I just go outside and go see it. That's what Mike wants our tag to be. Look at it. There you go. Chris Aconi says 4K at reasonable viewing sizes is beyond eye-limiting resolution. It's more for editing. Yeah, exactly. I mean, you can only tell the difference at a certain point. That's why people go nuts over megapixels on their camera, and they think that makes a difference. At 5K or 5 megapixels is, unless you're gonna make a poster or like a huge freaking sign out of your photo, you don't need anything much over 5 megapixels. Beyond that, at normal viewing sizes, you'll never tell the difference. It's like people go nuts over MP3s, and they don't realize that if you listen to an MP3 and you listen to a WAV file is much bigger. But you listen to a WAV file and you listen to the MP3, you'll hear a difference between the two. People have gotten so used to that limited sound range of MP3. MP3 actually takes sounds that are similar and joins them together, and actually just negates them all together. So there's things you're listening to and or missing in music that you don't realize you're missing. So it's not always about the quality of it sometimes. Dragon says, I shot in 4K once. Check it out, and it was not memory card friendly. No, this almost made me nauseous. Last time I was in Acadia, I was like, I'm shooting in the highest resolution I got because I want to get this really cool video. So I had my phone shot, I think 2K at the time, maybe 4K. Might have been shooting 4K at the time. My SJ cam shot at 2K, and my GoPro shot at 4K. Right? Yeah, 4K at 15 frames per second. So I did all this video with the GoPro, with the gimbal, and doing like down by Bass Harbor headlight, and all these plays, all this cool video. And I get home, I start editing it, and it's all like it doesn't stutter, but it doesn't look smooth because it was only filming at 15 frames per second. The human eye is about 24 frames per second. So anything over 24 frames per second is going to look smooth. Anything below 24 frames per second is going to look like stuttery, just like not it's not it's smooth. You look at like that's smooth, but it doesn't look smooth. It didn't seem natural. And then I realized there was nothing I could do. I couldn't fix it. So I got all this incredible footage, and I still put it in the video, but it just it made me so mad. I gotta go back now and get more footage, but it was just it sucked. Yeah, and it's not memory card friendly. I think on that trip I went through like we were up there for a week, so I went through every SD card I have. And I don't think I brought my laptop on that one. And I've done that before. I've taken my laptop with me on trips, just shot photos and videos all over the place, and just kept on loading them off to the computer and refreshing the cards. That sucks. Jake the Outdoorsman, Acadia is on my list, but damn far. It's actually not as far as you think. I mean, at least for me. I'll drive 8 hours and not bad night. When I've driven back and forth to Florida like 9 or 10 times. Just straight shots. Like I don't stop and rest. I just drive. So I can be from where I live to Portland is 8 hours, and then depending on whether you take 95 or you take US 1, the coastal route up to Acadia, it's another 3 or 4 hours. So I could do that in one drive. So that's like a start late at night or really early in the morning and be there by like early the next day. Not so bad. Dragon, I view filming mishaps as reasons to go back and do it again. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I definitely want to go back to Acadia. I want to go back to Acadia in the fall. I love it up there in the fall. Maine in the fall is absolutely gorgeous. But yeah, I'm upset that it came out that way, but the reason why I shoot the way I do is so I don't have to sit there through a camera like this all the time and just watch everything through the camera. So I can just kind of hold the camera out and kind of pan around, see what I'm trying to get, and just record it, but still take in what I'm seeing. But yeah, mistakes are learning experiences. Emma Gang said, do a lot of trips, download off the cards so my computer's clear. Yeah, if you don't have a lot of cards, you got to do that. Emma Gang's got to go. Take care, Emma Gang. Thanks for stopping by. Mid-Teen Outdoors got to go. You know what? What time is it? It's like 10 after 8. So we got to go. Thanks for stopping by. Jake the Outdoorsman just went there. Oh, yeah. So Dragon and Panda were just up at Acadia. Katahdin, that's another place I want to go to. But it's almost getting too late in the year to go up there. It's almost winter up there. So, all right. Well, it is now 10 after 8. So I think I'm going to wrap this one up. I want to thank everybody who stopped by. Those of you who have been here for like most or all of the live streams that I've been doing on Thursdays, thank you so much. Really appreciate you guys. Triumph's here. Brandon, what's going on? Popped in to say hi. Glad you're still going. Just getting ready to wrap it up. Joe Hart, you're heading out. Try the DSLR on the moon. Very cool. This will most likely be the last Thursday live stream. I'm going to take a couple weeks off, and then the day will get changed. I'm doing them. So as soon as I know, like I said, it's probably going to be Sundays. I'm pretty much set on Sunday nights. I'll be doing it. But it's going to be a few weeks. I'm going to take a little time off. This is 30 in a row. Got a couple changes coming through. Got a couple of changes coming through that it's going to change my schedule up, and I'm going to take a little time to get used to that, and then I'll come back to doing the live streams. So, Jake, thanks for stopping by, man. One of these days we'll get together. We'll head up to the Whites, man. I'll definitely do that. But yeah, so thanks everybody for stopping by. Thanks for everybody who's been here for the last 30 episodes. It's kind of the end of an era, stopping the Thursday shows, but gotta do what I gotta do to keep things going, and we'll just do something. Maybe I don't know. I'm gonna change the format a little bit. Trent says we missed. Look forward to your return. Thank you, sir. Hey, 30 weeks is a long time. These guys that do these every day, I don't know how they do it. So yeah, I need a little break from it, but more so I need to just get used to my new schedule. I'll be working second shift, so I don't think anybody's going to log on at midnight to watch a live stream, and I don't expect a lot of people to be on early in the morning. So looking forward to it. I'm down for the Catskills or Poconos also. I'm in North Jersey. Oh, I thought you were closer to Manhattan. So cool. Yeah, we'll get something together. There's a bunch of us that do these. We're actually trying to get another trip together at some point. So actually, one of the things, anybody who's still on, in or near PA, the Chuck Kuiper Trail, just kind of came across that. It's like a 55-mile trail out by Sproul State Forest, like central PA. I'm going to look into that. It's all good. Got to do what you got to do. Yeah, thanks, man. It's seldom had. Yeah, I since you just got here, real quick, I'll touch back on this. I kind of laid back on pushing the hammocks and pushing all stuff because I thought I was supposed to start my new job this week. But there was a breach of systems with the company that did my pre-employment drug screening, and everything got locked down. So I've been on hold. I've been sitting here all week with no orders in, nothing planned to do except for, and I'm just going like this. I'm bored out of my mind. Oh, you're across the river from New York City. Okay, yeah, I thought you were close to New York. Dragon, you've heard of Chuck Kuiper Trail? I haven't researched it. Yeah, I saw it pop up on, I think it was on Facebook last week or early this week, and I did a little research into it. It looks pretty cool. I think there's parts of it that are pretty rugged, but I don't know how rugged. But there's some awesome views and there's some waterfalls, and it's kind of like the old Loggers Path in the fact that you can make shorter loops out of it. So if you didn't want to do a whole, I think one section is like 30 miles and the other section is like 25. So if you only wanted to do like a smaller section, like an overnight, you could actually make a smaller loop in there. So I got to do a little more research on it. It looks pretty cool. Yes, good luck with the good next shift, new shift. Thank you, sir. It'll be, I'll be doing basically what I do back here, just on a bigger, much more intelligent sewing machine, basically. And it's going to do more than sewing. It's just going to do heat press and sewing and all that. So it'll be interesting. Dragon, maybe an October trip. I'm going to try to get out in August for at least an overnight, just to keep my streak of getting out for at least one trip every month. And it may just be something like Pinchot or Delaware State Forest or something like that, something simple. Ooh, fancy. Yeah, I haven't seen the machine yet, but it does like sewing, it does heat press, it does all kinds of stuff. You basically just tell it what to do, and it's like computerized. So I was hoping I'd learn a little more hands-on stuff, but I don't think it's going to be that hands-on. But it should still be interesting. They were all excited when I told them I know how to sew. They're like, oh, well, we got a better position for you. I was just going to go do like warehouse, like picking and packing, just something that I didn't have to be in charge of anybody. I didn't have to think too much about it. I could just go do the job, make the money to pay the bills, and keep everything going. And they're like, well, we got this. And I was like, okay, it's more money. I'll take it. But yeah, so I'm going to try to figure out something. I got to see what my schedule is going to be like. If they got overtime, I'm going to take it. So, but yeah, at least want to get out for even a short overnight in September, on August and September. Triumph, wish you all the best. Take care. I'll see you on the tube. Cheers, everyone. Have a good night. Brandon, thank you so much for your assistance with the moderating and everything else. It's awesome. And I will see you when I get back to the live streams. Dragon, take care. Everybody else, whoever else is on, thanks for stopping by, and see you in the next, whenever that might be.